One man speaking to me told me about his 3 sons. How is it that they are all so different? He said. The eldest is a fairly aggressive high achiever. The second is happy to sit around and do as little as possible. And the youngest is forever bringing more and more people around. He has so many friends, we never know who's going to turn up next. 3 boys, same parents, same house, same school, yet they are so different. The mystery of the human personality. So I'm going to be speaking today about the human personality, and in particular, a theology of the human personality. These last few weeks I've been doing that. Last week I spoke about a theology of anger, and I've been rather touched by the comments I've received both verbally and via the internet from people scattered far and wide, from New Zealand to Britain to Canada. I thank them for their remarks. Very constructive at that. Some people have said, yes, but. Will I also speak sometime about our hidden anger, about the way we conceal it, but anger is very much present. So I propose to do that in a few weeks' time. But today, to the human personality. Another person said to me, as she reviewed a little bit of her life, she said, you know, some people really get under my skin. I can get on well with most people, but I know how many? About 4 people. 3 females, 1 male. A couple of them, I just can't stand them near me. The other 2 are full of complaints. I just wish that they'd get a life. But they keep coming to me. There must be something wrong with my personality because I seem to attract these people. Is it really unhealthy, unpleasant, un-everything that our personalities get into such a fix? Well, the New Scientist magazine, a recent edition, has an article in it headed, "Do you have a healthy personality?" And then I discovered a number of other journals writing on this topic until I came to this particular journal article, Continuing Psychology Education, where they devote a whole chapter to a curriculum on learning about a healthy personality. I think we ought to be thinking of ways to do that. I sometimes have said, I really would like to start a school for beautiful behaviour. Would anybody come? We're all so frequently mesmerised by ugly behaviour that perhaps we need to think more about what constitutes beautiful behaviour, what constitutes a healthy personality. And one of the articles says the key to a healthy personality is flexibility. Well, that's one aspect, but there's more to it, I think. The journal article from New Scientist had Linda Geddes open the article, and she says, our personality literally shapes our world. It helps to determine how many friends we have, which jobs we excel in, and how we cope with adversity. Personality plays a critical part in our friendships. I used a prayer today, especially for our friendships, that we might have good friends. But we choose our friends, often according to personalities. We choose our marital partners according to personalities. Child rearing is very much about bringing the child into the development of their personality. Oh yes, said one mother, we must have done something wrong to our child. In our bringing up of Rosalind, she's always troubled about something. She's changed her job 4 times in the last 4 years. We don't say anything because we know the sensitivities are all around us. And now we fear, said the parents, we fear that her personality is so much about her moods, about her diet, about her stress. It's about her health. What are we to make of the human personality? The unhealthy personality. And further, what will we make of the healthy personality? We ought not pause long enough to read too many of the answers. We just know some personalities are difficult. Some are troubled. Some have a long history of disagreements, discontent, disturbance, and dysfunction. We say he is a very moody person. She is so temperamental, so quarrelsome. Nothing will please them. And another person needs everyone to say yes, yes, yes to them, when in fact we should say no, no, no to them. So all of us, probably all of us, know what it is like to be upset because of something that happened to us in the past, because of some relationship, misunderstanding, or mistake. We've all had some insult, some criticism of us, somebody not liking us. And it goes right to the middle of us. And we're likely to hear ourselves saying, that's what I'm like, isn't it? Why don't people respect who I am? They expect me to change. You can't change your personality, can you? Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. I'm pleased to say, oh, yes, you can. Some people say once it's taken its shape, there you are, built in concrete. That's what we mean by personality, isn't it? The shaping of who you are. How can you change it? Well, we happen to know, don't we, that personality, in fact, goes through different phases, from childhood to adolescence to later older age, through to old age, through to very old age, through to when you die. And at each point, we can be different. Of course, you can say, no, I've never changed in all my life. I never changed. I hope I don't meet you if that's the case. Because we all would like to change, wouldn't we? Well, flexibility is part of the healthy personality. So in this address today, I'm going to dwell a little more on the unhealthy personality, and then I shall speak about 5 aspects of the healthy personality, and then I'm going to talk about the theology of human personality. So what about the unhealthy personality? When is it unhealthy? It is unhealthy when it is holding on to past bad spots for too long. It is unhealthy when it has not healed its past woundings and past damaged places. It is unhealthy when its growth pathways have become blocked or bent onto destructive or into persistently discontented pathways. It is unhealthy when it rejects or denies the healing and succumbs to moods, behavior, and relationships that confuse the positive goals with negative needs. The personality is unhealthy when it has lost its focused integration. Some people say, there's nothing wrong with my personality. So they're talking about personality, as it were, in a global sense. So here I might pause for a moment to say, what is this thing called personality? Personality, for our purposes today, is expressed through our moods and our emotions, through our behaviour and our backtracking, going back over things. It is expressed through our words that we use and the way of life we choose to have. We may not be unhealthy in all aspects of our personality. So it is misleading to say the whole personality is unhealthy, when in reality only one aspect may be malfunctioning, unhealthy. It is common that when one aspect is malfunctioning, unhealthy, it is likely to flood the other aspects of your personality. That's so. But we can fence those off. If your mood is there in one area of your life, responding to one damaged area, that negative mood can so easily flood into the whole of your personality. But it is possible to identify that area that is faulty or faltering, and we can correct that. And then recover what I call your focused integration, bringing it together and focusing it. So now I'm going to turn to the healthy personality, part 2, for those of you who are following me as you do. Part 2. What are the features of the healthy personality? Now, in previous addresses in this series, I've described what I call the 5 factors of personality. In fact, I expand them to 7 factors. Here, I'm going to leave that today. I'll not go back over that. I'll proceed. And I would now look at what is noticeably the healthy personality. 5 things. It is to discover ways to be released. That's a word I'm using again and again. We need to be released from past damage, from past negativities, from past bad memories, from past anger. Released from those people and places that keep you imprisoned to your unhealthy personality. You might tell yourself, I've got a healthy personality, but if you're stuck there, not released, that's where your personality is there, at that point being unhealthy. So it is to be healthy personality is to be released from your smaller, low-functioning self. Released from the self that you don't like, so that you can start accepting the self that is worthwhile, that has renewed worth. Number 1, release. Number 2, you need to believe in resilience. Call on your inner capacities, all the capacities around you that help you to bounce back and begin again. Otherwise, you remain stuck. So resilience is a very important thing. How to bounce back afterwards and begin again. Number 3. Here's the word again. We all need the awareness of that focus of reintegration. It means taking into your mind space, what has occurred, and integrating it into a constructive meaning for life ahead of you. Integrating the focus of reintegration. Number 4. We need to remember the good things. We're all well practiced at remembering the bad things, the ugly things. How about remembering the good things and giving them dominance over those compulsions of the unhealthy personality that would drive us to ruminate on the distressing bad things? The unhealthy personality can lead you into the false belief that compulsively re-traveling over old pathways, you'll somehow get onto a new pathway. Oh, no, you won't. At least not necessarily so. That is false. Going over and over things, thinking that you're going to find a new pathway, you need something else to help you onto that pathway. remember the good things. That's a positive part of a healthy personality. Number 5, we all need to reawaken our concealed, our dormant spirituality, our essential spirituality. At Sage meeting the other day, one person asked me, would you tell us a few things? Just give me 2 or 3 things that really is what is meant by spirituality. We will do this again and again because we need to learn. So you might well ask, what could this possibly mean? To reawaken your essential spirituality. Well, instead of giving you words to describe it, I'm going to give you imagery. And the imagery is right around you. It is vividly conveyed in the cycle of stained glass, the stained glass windows here in the lower level of St. Michael's Church in Melbourne. The cycle is the existential pathway of every human being. The cycle starts in that corner. And it begins with a universal loneliness of everyone. The existential condition of every human being. Insignificant, frightened, and alone. I breathe the wind of the stars and am carried beyond my hiding place to feel the winds of God, lifting me up to be a citizen of the world, a guardian of the cosmos, discovering the gift and power of the new creation. Those are the words of the poem that tell the story of this cycle of stained glass. Sometimes we might pause and renew our awareness of that essential spirituality of these windows as they carry us around and through the turbulence and the pains of our life to the triumph of the things we surely would like to celebrate by virtue of our liberated personality. Of course, we might continue to ask the question, does your personality affect your immune system, your health? Or does your immune system affect your personality? Do we dive into a deep mood as soon as we run into a difficult zone? Or does your personality, come to the rescue and lift you out of those dark moods? Or are there other factors, internal factors and ambient factors around you, factors to change your personality, giving it new strength to stand against the dark moods? Does your personality make you more susceptible to the influences of joyful behavior, like singing and dancing? Or does it operate the other way around? And if you know that certain behaviors will enhance your personality function, but you choose not to follow those ways, or you close off those influential behaviors, what then? The personality can refuse treatment, you see. Or you yourself, you can begin to close off your personality, no longer open to the treatment or to recovery. So is it any wonder then you remain in your dark, unhealthy mood state? What will reopen your personality to healing, to consolation, to that resilience, to that vital release? In all your troubled state, what will set your mind at rest? So I turn now, of course, with those very words that I read from the Old Testament today. I'm going to turn to the theology of the human personality. For those who didn't hear the Old Testament reading, I took it from the book of Exodus, chapter 33, where Moses has heard the words coming to him, that in all his wanderings and questionings, that presence will come to him and set his mind at rest. So, a theology of the human personality. In this context today, it is about the astonishing gift that we all have, our personality. It is about the healing of the damaged personality, theology. It is about the change and growth available to the personality. It is about remembering the good things stored in your personality. Theology is about the reawakening of your essential spirituality, discovering your basic aloneness, discovering your strength to reach out beyond your aloneness to the stars, celebrating the triumph of those things that you're able to celebrate. So what do we see in a healthy personality? I want to see enjoyment. Enjoyment of yourself, enjoyment of others, enjoyment of life. I want to see the expansiveness in the human personality, rather than being closed and defensive and angry and shriveled up. I want to see the enlargement of the space between I and thou. I want to see an emotional enhancement. I want to see an evenness that pervades the tendencies to swing from the high to the low, from the flatness to the excitement, an evenness. I want the energy of faith that reminds us that we are accepted in spite of everything, and that we can grow into a new way to be who we can possibly be. Now, we've seen how personalities can go through terrible experiences and leave behind minds in great turmoil and distress. We all know times and experiences that can carry our own personalities into unhealthy pathways and into uncontrolled pathologies, and leave our minds in unsettled states. But the best theology is as practical as the best psychology. And that theology is emphatic in its words and symbols. It points to something bigger than the human personality. It points to a presence, a strengthening, consoling, encouraging presence, one to the other, one to the what Martin Buber called the eternal other. And to all who are carrying too much inner turbulence, that presence states its purpose in 7 clear words. I will set your mind at rest. That is something that we can all aim for. Now, every day, I give those 7 words a strong place in some person's life. And I know that every one of us can give those 7 words a strong and meaningful place in somebody's life. And when that happens, that will do something good for all humanity. The power and place of 7 words. I will set your mind at rest. Would you please stand?